All right, can you hear me? Check, 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 check. Okay, I have my little microphone on because I don't know how to keep facing the camera, making eye contact, and talking clearly because I talk about everything behind me, and when I go like that, you can't hear me. So I have this little thing that I can't stand. This is the clover food plot. We have two of these. This one's 4/10 of an acre in size, and it's kind of tucked in these trees, which is nice this time of year, especially with this huge drought we've been having. Except for a little bit ago, we finally got 2/10 of an inch of rain. It's been very dry in Western PA, and for some reason, every storm that we get splits us. I think I said that in my last video, but we have not been getting any rain for the most part. This is where these perennial plots come in handy for me. It's tucked in the woods, it's not out in the heat and the sun all day long drying out, and it's pretty thick, so the sunlight doesn't get to the ground and dry it out that way either. This started out as just basically a yard that Cousin Kurt used to mow periodically. So in the spring, I said, let's turn this into a clover plot. I came in here and hand broadcasted just some ladino clover, white clover, at a rate of 7 pounds per acre. And this is of course half an acre, so split that in half, which I learned, see it's 800,000 seeds per pound. So there were quite a few seeds put down. And then later on, a month or two later, I spread some more seed on here just because I didn't think it was coming along. Turns out it was. I have tons of seed down. I did put down fertilizer, which was the low nitrogen fertilizer that I put on the bean plot. And I also put in lime, ag lime. I think 2 skid steer buckets of ag lime on this. And then on April 20th, I came in here and sprayed for the grasses. And with that, I used CLETHODIM at 18 ounces per acre. Plus, of course, you need a surfactant when you're using the CLETHODIM. So it took, I would say, 5 weeks before the grass really started to die in here. And then Kurt came in, mowed it down. It looked pretty good. And then, of course, the broadleafs were coming in. And I know that a lot of people say, well, just mow, spray for the grass and mow for the broadleafs. Well, these broadleaf weeds are too low down to the ground. I don't know what type they are, but they're not going to make it up to mower blade height to get cut off. I mean, I have broadleaf weeds in my yard and I mow it every week. I came in here and sprayed the CLETHODIM again because I am starting to get grasses once again. 2,4-DB for the broadleaf weeds, and then the CLETHODIM with the surfactant, and put it all in the same tank, 15 gallons. And I filmed that, so here's that part. Which this grass out is grass killer only. It's CLETHODIM. It's pretty simple to use. All right, so add crop oil concentrate at 1 quart. Well, I didn't do that. I forgot my, darn it. Wonder if that'll, now this here's the 2,4-DB. It can be applied in a tank with other herbicides, which we're gonna use the CLETHODIM. We're gonna mix this with the CLETHODIM. Seedling and established alfalfa only, that's what we want. See, they're doing, let's go do that. Dang it, I can't believe I did that. What an idiot. I gotta run and get that surfactant. It just is what it is. If I'm doing all this, I gotta do it right. This is the only time of the year I'm doing it. If you're doing it once, I mean, come on. I think I have everything here. It'll say on the grass out how much you use for the non-ionic surfactant, which is what that is, 80%. Annual and perennial grasses, this is what we're looking for. Up to and including grasses in the seed head stage. Sure, 12 to 16 fluid ounces. Add a non-ionic surfactant, 80% ingredient at a rate of 1 pint per 50 gallons. I'll have to do some math by asking Google. Use a crop oil. The use of crop oil concentrate is not advised since it may injure flowers and foliage. 8 ounces of this, 6 and 8. So let's go ahead and do that first. Look at this, I even sent gloves. Smells good. All right, now we need another 4. Got 4 ounces. And I forget how much I was gonna put of this on here, 6. All this does is make the water molecules lay flat instead of little water droplets. It'll look like you painted it on with a brush. That doesn't seem like a lot. I probably read that wrong. Pints, 0.375 is 6 ounces. Surfactant, 80%, 1 pint per 50 gallons. We need to put 1 to 3 quarts per acre of this 2,4-DB. Do not add, what? Do not add non-ionic surfactant It's too late now. It is what it is, folks. Crop oil. This says don't use crop oil. This says don't use surfactant. Okay. Let's just do 1 quart. Don't spill it. Alrighty, folks, that's it. We have it all mixed up. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. But I'll be sure to show you here in a week or two. So a week later, the grasses, of course, you're not going to notice anything right off the bat with the grasses. It's going to take a little while for those to start dying. But the broadleaf weeds, I can see already that they're starting to yellow up. So the spraying definitely helped. I don't think mowing would have done the trick with either one. Of course, it's not going to do anything for the grasses, and then, like I said, broadleaf weeds are close to the ground, and they've been here for 3 months. So, like I said, they weren't going to ever grow up to where you can just chop them off and kill them that way. What we'll do is head over to this other food plot, which doesn't look so hot at all. Well, this here pathetic thing you see behind me is my 1 acre clover food plot. Same stuff, ladino clover spread in March, I'm sorry. But the problem is I spread it in, I would say it was 5 inches or 6, maybe even 10 inches thick with all of the weeds from last year. I don't know what I was thinking when I did that, but the seed never had a chance. I should have burnt it off. Well, that would have been perfect. But instead I spread the seed hoping that it would grow. It never really did. So we ended up spraying the field with glyphosate, killing everything. And we came in here and I disked it up and disked it and disked it and disked it for like an hour and a half, 1 acre. I should have never done it. I should have just plowed it up and done it that way. That's not what the discs are for. They're notched, it helped, but I just beat the heck out of my discs for an hour and a half straight. What I'm here to show you is the results after spreading some more clover, again, ladino clover, white clover, and of course, as a matter of fact, I spread, Cousin Kurt had some, but it was from last year and we weren't sure what it even was, but I dumped it on here anyhow, and come to find out it was clover. I even tested a little I put 2 cups in the house, and one with clover and a soybean, and one with the mystery seed. Turned out it was all clover, thank God, because the inoculant, it was different colored. So I put all that on here. I would say we put 8 to 10 pounds of seed on this field. Finally, it is starting to come up. 3 weeks ago, we were ready to plow it under. And of course, clover takes a while to establish, so I don't want to hit the panic button too early. We'll give it this fall, and then we'll see what it looks like next year around this time, and I bet it's going to look pretty good. This has been, of course, fertilized and limed, just like the other one with the low nitrogen fertilizer, but it has not been sprayed for weeds yet. I did have a little bit of product left over from the field that we just looked at when I sprayed the 2,4-DB and the CLETHODIM last week. And so I came over here and made 2 passes just to see what it would do. And you can see that the milkweed and whatever else it hit, broadleaf wise, is starting to shrivel up and die already. So it's working great. That 2,4-DB, that's some good stuff. And it's only, I think it paid like 80 bucks for that 2.5 gallons. And it'll go a long ways. It's coming up all right. The deer are hammering it because their options are limited over here. We fenced in the soybeans. They wiped out everything else almost, and I'll show you that next week. Right now they're hammering the clover here, and every night, well, as a matter of fact, when I came in here, there were 6 or 7 deer in here eating the clover, and they're always over there in that small one. We call that the walnut grove. There's a couple walnut trees in there, so we call that the walnut grove, and there's always deer in there. There was one, I was in here this morning, actually, looking at it, and a little spike walked in on me, had no idea I was even there. So all in all, the clover is doing well. This is nothing to be proud of, that's for sure. Most people would never even show this, but hey, it is what it is. I screwed up right out of the gate. I should have never done it the way I did it, but someday I'll learn. I doubt it, but you'd think I would by now. We'll come back here in maybe 4 or 5 weeks, and I'll show you the results after all this spraying and everything's dead. Thanks a lot for watching. The clover update, those are my 2 clover plots. Thank God I have some perennials right now. Like I said, the annuals are not doing all that great with this lack of rain. And we'll see you here next week. I'll show you how things are going with the soybeans and everything else. See ya.